Good morning, good night, good evening, and today we are doing the Roma review. Now, this was brought up to me by a person on my YouTube page. He asked, well, I see a lot of keys, but not a lot of Romas. Why do we not see a lot of Romas? Well, Roma has, to sum that down into super short, wonky dispersion, very high penetration guns, that tend to overpin even broadside cruisers that are perfectly broadside. You would think you destroy, but they just overpin it. And just trolly. She can be. Those three things are what make Roma, well, Roma. And that is almost the epitome of the Italian battleship line. A trolly ship that really needs to have increased stigma. Let's be honest. Without the contributor flag, 5% to credits, 55 to ship XP, 65 to commander XP, and then 100% with the clan. Okay, real easy. Armor-wise, 32mm bow, 70mm side, 32, 40, or 45mm deck, and then belt armor at 375, and a 32mm stern. Let's pull some of this armor away for you. We'll keep that on, pull that off, pull that off. That's her citadel right there. She does get some space armor though, so you get that nice, lovely space armor that you can see. But again, that citadel is way above the waterline. Like, you show broadside in Roma, you're dead, and that will play into her maneuverability. Survivability-wise, 65,400. Torpedo protection, very decent at 38%. You're able to take torps, just not too many torps. It's not Massachusetts or Alabama levels or Yamato, but you can take torps if you have to, but take it on the bell or on the bow, because if you take it on the bow, remember, damage saturation kicks in, and if you have to take multiples, it's going to be less damage after the first one. Now, armament wise, we don't really have to mention her secondaries. They're basically useless. Her main selling point are these guns that are truly the overpin. They're kind of iffy, but they do work. 30-second reload time, minimum switch time of 12 seconds, minimum 180 time of 25 seconds, max dispersion 227, and an 18-kilometer range. Not the best, but you get a spotting aircraft for that, so it evens out. Max HE damage 5100. 24% of fire, 64 armor pin, and an 880 velocity, an 850 velocity on the AP shells with a 12,000 max damage. Very decent. If you hit with these AP shells and get citadels, they will hurt. They'll be feeling the shells for sure. No, without a doubt. But again, like the secondaries, we don't have to really mention these because they're so they're pitiful. They're very pitiful. They're not even worth going over. Airstrike, you can defend yourself, but surviving is another question. 10-kilometer range, 2 flights, 2 bombs and a payload, 4,200 max damage. It's standard, but nothing special. AA-wise, again, a very dishonorable mention. We don't have to even go over this. Your CV food. That sums it up. You're going to be CV food. CV food. Continuous damage. Long range AA, not much, at 144. Medium, 228. Short range, 116. But look at the range, 4.6. The 4.6 range is why it's not even worth mentioning. There's no A on this ship. So expect, if you do run into a competent CV player that knows you don't have the best AA, it's not the CV's fault. I mean, you bought the ship, you're aware that it doesn't have the AA, but it's a calculated risk. But it's a very good ship, still, besides the lack of AA. Maneuverability-wise, 30 knots, so with brisk, 33 knots roughly, 810 meter turning circle, so like I said and showed you that citadel, be wary when you have to turn, because you can get destroyed. 12-second or 12.5 rudder shift, whichever you prefer. She does have a long switch time, so just be wary of that. If you have to take torps, take it on the bow because damage saturation kicks in. Concealment, very decent at 11.7. She's one of the stealthiest battleships at her tier. Equipment-wise, this is how I run Roma. Spotting aircraft 1 to maximize the spotting aircraft. Damage control, mod 1. Aiming systems, steering gears, mod 1. And concealment. You get 5 charges of repair party and 4 charges of spotter plane when spec'd into it. Now this is my main, Italian battleship captain. So I do run Luigi Sanzanetti on this line. Gun feeder, grease the gears, brisk, emergency repair specialist, adrenaline rush, emergency repair expert, concealment expert, and fire prevention. That is the quintessential to running this line. This build will work for the Italian battleships. And that is a full 21-point build. You're maximizing speed and survivability. That's basically what you're speccing into. But let's... Oh, and for her camouflage, it's nothing special. I mean, if you had the core Bayashi camo before they did the rework, this is what it would look like, and you'd get an incredible economic boost. That's one of the flaws. I wish I had bought that. But if you just buy it now, this is what the ship will look like. It's a very historical looking camo. So, Roma, good ship, but can be very iffy. But she's a good ship. In the right circumstances. Any ship is. But let's get into the replay and we'll show you how Roma does it. Hello and welcome to WOW's Operation Replays. Today we are at Roma review and we got a pretty good match for you today. So we're divvied up with my buddy Cap and we're basically on Killer Well with the Colorado, Takeo, Amal. I've never pronounced that ship right. The Amal Grue. Amante Grue. Amante Grau. Sorry, Amante Grau. And Hipper and a Cross of Dorn. Okay, so pretty good team.
Attack the enemy naval base from the specified directions.
And they're like saying like 40 tickets. How much did he get to? And we imagined 40 tickets. We didn't know if that meant $40 or 40 bundles. Either much. Still a pretty good amount. I mean, $40 to about 40, dollars or tickets. That's still quite a bit for that cruiser. Cap was lucky. He got, whatever he could from the Inca Trail, then bought like, $5 of it, and ended up getting that ship for like $5, which is a pretty good deal. So, and after seeing it in clan battles and in operations, it's a pretty good ship. Now, the running lights and the navigator mod, as you see in some of these replays, a few of them, I was not running it at the time. So that was just pure skill. and across the door and basically drops torps on the DDs and everything. It's very gutsy going in there like that. It really is. Usually, if you're going to be a cruiser, you want to wait for the battleship to get there. I'm sorry, but wait for the battle. He does get lucky and gets a torp, and then Cap picks it up with the secondary, so he gets lucky.
The ship is on fire!
This is a very dangerous maneuver. I mean, one good strike and he basically has it. So it's very, hairy there. But at that close range, the Roma shell and dispersion works really well. Roma is basically like the epitome of the check line, where the dispersion, high penetration, but shells go all over the place. So that if you're gonna buy Roma, you gotta keep that in mind, that you're gonna have shells going all over the place.
Torpedoes, dead ahead!
Like, I'm already heading for the reinforcements. I've still got 5 heals. I got plenty of health, plenty of ability to tank and do my job out there. And Cap already knows I'm heading out, but he's gonna make his way out. Well, eventually. He's gonna run into an island. He's gonna do a Natsu. This is one of the few matches where the dispersion, that was a beautiful salvo, but it was all over the place. And the mines is gonna go, and the Dorn's gonna go down. He's gonna go down. I mean, he's gone. So I mean, that's unfortunate.
Reconnaissance reporting.
And it's a good thing I did head out here, because they killed everything way ahead of schedule. I mean, the Dorn did kill the Gneisenau and the Baron, but at the cost of his life. That's
All stations.
a pretty hard one to swallow.
Target.
I mean, is it really is it really worth the trade-off? Is the question.
Designated target.
Attention. Main task complete. Retreat to the designated area.
But I mean, the fact that they spawn early is also we have more time. But it also proves another one, because the reinforcements will spawn a little bit earlier. At least the second group of reinforcements. The ones that you don't want will spawn on a different schedule. So it's kind of a flip coin. And Roma doesn't have the best secondaries. You can see those secondaries just going off, and they're not really doing much. So she's really just more of a gun platform. And what you're hoping for is good dispersion like this. You're really hoping for a good dispersion. And you're hoping you can tank. She has great armor. She can tank pretty well. But it is very scary. Very scary.
Enemy destroyer foundered.
And see, the turrets do get kind of knocked out pretty easily. So you don't have the best AA, let's be honest. So you'd want to go with more gun survivability. And this was very... It was hairy and very scary. Because it will not... I mean, literally, that's the second time that turret got knocked out. So... You're basically waiting and hoping. Yep. So I get it out at 5,000. I knock out a gun. A gun gets knocked out. And his torpedo tube gets, like, incapacitated. Because there was smoke coming from the gun. But he repaired all of it. And it is scary because that thing does have 3 torp tubes. And I incapacitated 1. But there's still those torp tubes that are still... And it's scary. I mean, he is close. I mean, you don't want to be close to a decoy. There goes a permanent incapacitation and a fire. But he still has those back 2 torp tubes. So it's like, it's very scary. And it is very scary. I mean, he is close. Like, we're talking like danger close. Like, too close.
Enemy battleship sighted.
And like, he can still slightly thwart me. But the secondaries get him just before he's able to get alongside me. Which is
destroyer.
very thankful. I'm waiting for a forward salvo, and then I meant to switch to HAP, but I completely forgot. I didn't even think about it. I was just too busy because he is super close. And I'm still tanking a pretty good amount of damage there. From Fuso and Nuremberg. And Cap and I are both in danger of torp, so it's not looking great. He has torps coming at him. I could have torps coming at me. It's not a pretty picture. There's the torps on him. I pick up the DD, or the Nuremberg, but he gets a nice salvo on the Fuso. And you see that the armor is coming into play, and I am bouncing literally all those crucial shells. 12,000, 5 solid pins. I don't know where the last shell went. Cap picks it up with his fire. And, you know, about almost a couple 100,000 potential. But I'm up to 86,000. But I literally went through 3 heals just to do that. 3 heals. Now I'm down to 1 heal. So it's gonna be challenging. It's challenging. And I'm still pretty full health. But you'll see how fast that can go down is the question.
Reconnaissance reporting. The 3rd enemy reinforcement party is approaching.
Enemy destroyer sighted.
Remember, I didn't have mods when I was playing this match. I didn't have no mods during this match. No mods. While you're probably seeing mods on the recording now that I've installed them, there were no mods, so I was playing this on just experience. No mods. I was literally just aiming how I would normally aim. And the dispersion you're witnessing is when Roma really is friendly. When she's a friendly boat. Like you saw, there were 5 overpens and 1 citadel. That's where she gets kind of like, and because of her high penetration, she does have that.
Problem solved, sir.
And we do get lucky and get a citadel
We
on that
destroyed
hit.
an enemy
But you
cruiser.
can just see how the shells just kind of, you know, they spread out all over the place. There's not really any concise, you know, aiming or anything. It's just kind of like a shotgun going all over the place. And you hope to get something.
The ship is on fire.
Well, we do get lucky. They get a 25k salvo. But again, you're seeing like 5 shells hitting. So there's about like 3 shells just going all over the place. And, you know, who's looking at... I can't show broadside on this thing. So I've got to keep angling, even though I want to get that last gun off. But I angled just enough, but I'm not getting that citadel. Fortunately, I've got fires, caps from the other side, and I'm still bouncing the shells on my armor. And we're almost up to 2 million potential. More bounces. And it is kind of scary on this side. Again, I pick it up on the fire, but it was scary.
Battleship.
And Cap thinks he's gonna go down because he's not looking too
Problem
good.
solved, sir.
Well, let's see if we can look at Cap's health. Yeah, about a third of his health. And see, that was just perfect dispersion, but it just went all over the place. That's Roma. And I think he's thinking, oh, he's gonna die, and we get a lucky citadel. One lucky turret.
We've destroyed an enemy
Citadel's
cruiser.
That saves him. And I thought, okay, I should have this. I mean, 12,000, but dispersion, 4,000. Most other warships, that would have been a dead battleship. But with Roma, it's pretty much like, well, all over the place. And like Cap's going down, and I'm gonna go down. I mean, there's no like we're not making it through this. We've done our job. We've sunk the battleship. We've got the do not enter haven. We've done our job. But you can see the secondaries just don't rely on them. Then he's gonna he misses the torps, but he doesn't have the health to really do anything. He get a nice 11k salvo on it, but he kills Cap. I can go dark because of the smoke. I'm thinking, okay, I might live.
Problem solved, sir.
Hipper kills the York,
Reconnaissance reporting.
but then this guy shows up, and there's no way I'm getting out of here. My DCP's off cooldown, so I'm screwed.
Get back.
I'm telling you,
Ship is on
I'm screwed
fire.
because once I go down, he gets in the circle, we win. $20,000 solid AP to the side. I'm going down. There's nothing I can do. And we're gonna at the Agru's health. He's at half health now. Okay, so half health. They're telling him to get in the exit. pretty good on health so far. He does pick up the Hipper. Double fire, so he would have been shot with AP. So he was literally the last one alive, so he gets will to win for his medal. So, pretty hard medal to get, but congrats to him. With 5 stars. 5 stars.
Oh, hell yeah, 20,000 XP? Oh, I was third. Well, I'll take it.
Wow, first. I mean, not surprising,
200...
but
what?
well earned.
I did 245,000 damage.
Really? You did 245,000? I did 247,000.
Huh.
It's probably because I got all the DDs.
Yeah.
Because I got... Well, I did sink 2 DDs.
So did I. Oh, I got 2 of my containers in one. In one go. Oh, I got some speed flags. I will use that.
I had 47,000 damage and fire damage received. That's literally half, 2/3 of my health was in fire. And that was a pretty well-earned victory.
Indeed. And we managed to somehow get 5 stars, even though everybody else died, except for one. Okay, fires. I received 22,000 damage, 22,874 damage from fires.